So we are at Cisco Partner Summit, and we are the opportunity to talk with Cisco. Thank you for the opportunity to talk about your business area is about developers, isn't it?
Yes. So I'm Susie Wee. I'm the CTO of Networked Experiences at Cisco. And what we're doing now is I'm starting a new program called Cisco DevNet, which is Cisco's new developer program to actually grow a new software developer community. To actually help us in this world where we can have software-defined infrastructures and then actually allow software developers to write applications and do integrations with other products, to create just a broader set of offerings for our customers.
There are new developers from the Microsoft, IBM world that are coming to Cisco?
Yes, absolutely. So software developers, really love writing software on platforms. And, the more capabilities that we can do and the more, tools that we can give them, the better job they can do to innovate, in broader ways.
The Internet of Everything is one of the key areas that the developers could bring more value, no?
Yes. The Internet of Everything is a big area. There's a lot of areas where new applications have changed the network and where the network enables new applications. And the Internet of Things, and especially the Internet of Everything, is an area where you have, new sensors that are connected, right? And as sensors are connected and you have, wearables and, just lots of things, and you can actually get a lot of contextual information. You can make very compelling applications that are really, geared for many different applications. You can have end-user applications. You can, of course, have network IT and network operator applications. But you can have these kind of operational applications, so when you're running a manufacturing floor and things like that. So it's really interesting when you, again, bring these sensors together, expose APIs to this information, and then allow just a whole new ecosystem of applications to emerge.
These APIs are too difficult to understand for the developers, and you bring some knowledge that easier the path to that application, to that new solutions or new functionalities?
Yeah, it's interesting. So there's many different types of developers, and depending on the type of application you're writing, maybe you actually do know all about networking and you want to get down into the nuts and bolts of the network and be able to configure all of the parameters and things there. Or maybe you're just trying to write an end-user application that uses the network, where the application can use location information from the network or use quality of service and be optimized, but you don't want to know the nuts and bolts of the network. So in that case, what we need to do is provide abstractions to the network that make it easier for developers to kind of leverage the power of the network without having to know all of those details. So it's really important that, as we go into areas like software-defined networking, and we have, and especially with Cisco's take, is that we have something called APIC, our Application Policy Infrastructure Controller. And what that does is it helps us do some application-centric infrastructure that basically really makes it easy to tie apps to the network and abstracts the network in an easier way so people can just write applications more easily.
Do you know if the people are coming from the Microsoft world or Westfield from IBM world or are just a mixture of everywhere?
Yeah, it's really a mixture of different places. There's actually, for example, Cisco has a very large base of Cisco certified network engineers and Cisco certified internet engineers. So there's actually people who are traditionally doing network operations, and they are understanding that they want to learn more about software and really look at what's the impact of SDN, how do they have to learn to work in DevOps models and things like that. So there's that set of folks. In addition, there's people who are writing enterprise apps or service provider applications, and they're coming into the play and joining the program and basically saying, okay, what kind of platforms are here and what can they do. There's also people who work on standards and open source, and then they're interested as we have more open platforms and how we can, bring these things together in a more open way. So there's actually a really big range of developers, and we think it's very interesting to bring these communities of developers together.
Do you think in the future will be some kind of alliance with Microsoft, IBM, and Oracle? I don't know, with the different vendors.
Yeah, absolutely. There's different areas, and for example, in all of these areas, there's really ecosystems that need to exist. It's not an all Cisco world. It's not an all IBM world. There's actually a lot of places where we can really complement each other and, bring together different assets. And really, the customer wants us to work those seams, right? So, and the way that we can do that is through our APIs, and then to have good integrations in there. So we're definitely looking more at solutions, and solutions that bring together, SAP and Cisco, right? Or solutions that will bring together IBM and Cisco. Certainly working with the open standards, so things like WebRTC, OpenStack, OpenDaylight, and how those all work with our, controllers and things. So
yes, WebRTC are one of the major trends right now.
Yes, absolutely, and we're driving WebRTC. So that's an area where, where it can create a big disruption and a big shift in collaboration when all of your web browsers.
Yes, it's a real-time communications embedded in the browser.
Exactly, real-time communications on the web. And
wow.
So, we're kind of embracing that world. We would love it if everybody can access video through the web, and then it intersects and works well with Cisco telepresence. So when you have these different types of video conferencing systems, you can just really expand the reach with those types of models.
Well, you're too assy. What are your major challenges for this year?
So really the big thing is, we're establishing a new developer program. We're very excited because, kind of Cisco at the top level, so John Chambers, Rob Lloyd, Gary Moore, like our CEO, presidents, they're all very supportive of the new programs that we're developing for ISVs and for software developers. So we have a solutions partner program that we're developing, again, to enable the partner side of things, as well as DevNet for the actual Cisco developers. So some of the things that we've done is we've launched a new DevNet portal that is one place to get, all of Cisco's developer materials. So you can just go to developer.cisco.com and access, and join DevNet and take a look at everything that's there. The other thing that we're doing is we've had community portals. And so what we're doing is just having the community forums. Rather than starting something brand new, we're actually integrating with Cisco communities because they're actually, again, are a set of folks who have a lot of expertise, and we want to do is bring additional developers to the mix and create this bigger community. We're creating a sandbox, as people write their applications, they don't necessarily need to buy all of the Cisco equipment. They can, if they want, and then do downloads and work on their applications in their environment. But otherwise, we can have equipment in the cloud so that people can test their software in our sandbox, and then really kind of get those certifications as well. And so those are the big areas. The next kind of big area is that at Cisco Live, which is of course Cisco's big conference, we're actually having that in San Francisco in May. And what we'll be doing is we're going to have a developer conference, so a DevNet zone at Cisco Live, where we want to bring together the traditional people who come to Cisco Live, so network architects and network operators, but in addition, bring software developers. And so we're going to have a dedicated developer conference with, tutorials, present our SDKs, we'll have mini labs and a hackathon. And we're actually letting people join for $49. Normally it's
really?
thousands of dollars to come to Cisco Live.
Yes.
But to really encourage the developers
to participate.
To participate. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of developers will come and join us and the great ideas that they're going to bring. So the main thing is they have so much creativity and they have so many different ideas, and every time we run hackathons and have events, they just create innovations that we've never thought of before.
Yes, you are really, actually, when you are more related to software, you are really at the core of the innovation, no? And you are building some procedure or something like that to pick up all the innovation that are coming from this community.
Absolutely. And that's the way we view it is, so the network has been, very powerful, right? It's connected the world, it's created the internet economy, it's evolved to allow people to do video conferencing over networks and telepresence and allow people to do HDTV over networks. So, it's very compelling. But now that the network is becoming programmable, with software-defined networking,
yes, that's
with APIC,
terrible.
now that it's programmable, you can pull information out of the network and get it into applications, and then have applications control the network. And that's where like mobility, context, location, video, Internet of Things, all of a sudden, all of these applications can be written because the network turns programmable. And that's actually the reason. So we're excited about the network now becoming a platform for innovation for developers. And, again, the types of apps that our developers have written are incredible.
Yes, I really just can't figure it out because it's like internet is smarter without data centers.
Yeah, exactly.
Just the infrastructure has the knowledge and could be smarter because it's programmable. So it's incredible.
Yeah, and that actually happened in the compute world first, right? So the compute world went to elastic computing, data centers, they've gone to the cloud. So you actually had a lot of room there where, compute, things like OpenStack has become more programmable, but now we're seeing that in the network itself.
Yes,
we're driving that.
It's a major change in.
It's actually the biggest shift in networking in the last 2 decades.
Wow!
And we truly believe that. Again, the network has had certainly a lot of innovations in the last 2 decades, but this is really the biggest shift.
It's a shift.
It's a shift.
A major shift.
Major shift. And if we can kind of do it at scale in a reliable way, because people
with
are network infrastructure,
with
security and everything there, but now we make it programmable.
Wow.
Then the possibilities are endless.
Yes. Thank you, Susie. Really, you are in the middle of the innovation right now.
Well,
thank you.
We're excited about what our developers will do.